Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I am really excited because it's time for another garden tour. Welcome to September. I'm going to start this garden tour with two really beautiful plants that we've bought quite recently. And this one is a Sanguisorba. Really nice one. It's a Sanguisorba purpurea and it's a variety called Blackthorn. Really nice, beautiful pink flowers. I love the gorgeous red stems and the beautiful mottled red effect on the foliage as well. Such beautiful leaves. Red's my favourite colour, so I really do like that. But these pink flowers are really lovely. Now the next plant I want to show you is Persicaria amplexicaulis Blackfield. Now, it's a much deeper red than the Persicaria amplexicaulis firetail that we have in the garden already. And I saw this whilst we were visiting Harlow Carr quite recently. And I just thought, do you know what? That would make a valuable addition to the garden. And we were recently over in Halifax at Dove Cottage Nurseries. Now, they're closing up as of this, I think it's September. So as of now, this month, they're closing up for good, which is a shame because that was a nursery that we spent many a happy time there from our days in Sheffield, travelling over to Halifax and spending time in the garden and in the nursery itself. You know, it's absolutely spot on nursery with some amazing plants, all the plants that we like to grow. And so we will be missing them very much. Now, they're going to be great. They're going to be in the garden as soon as we can. I've just noticed Rosa Sweet Honey is flowering her head off. She is so happy. It's such a beautiful rose. These were cuttings that Paul did, and look at how well they're doing. These are fantastic. I am so pleased with their progress. They are doing amazingly. I'm so happy. There's more flower buds probably about to come out on those, so we should get a few more flowers as well. But these were just cuttings, and now look at them. It's flowering already. Absolutely amazing. Speaking of Persicaria amplexicaulis, this is Alba, and really beautiful plant, doing really well, flowering its head off. I love the delicate flowers on this one, and white's always nice to have in a border because it just gives the illusion of more light in the area, and it really does the trick. Behind, we've got the monk's hood doing really well. They've got the flower heads on. If you look here, they've literally got the flowers forming on there. The buds are all formed. So the stem will keep growing. And what we'll get there is some really amazing flowers. Now, monk's hood is toxic, the roots and, you know, messing around with the plant. So it's something that you really need to wear gloves with. But really beautiful to have in the garden. If you're not able to grow delphiniums for whatever reason, usually it's because they're obliterated by slugs, then grow monk's hood instead, because they certainly do leave this one alone. Next plant I want to talk about, really beautiful one at this time of year. Throughout August, this was wowing me. It's Aster Twilight, looking great. It's just starting to go over, as you can see, just starting, and we're getting no seed heads on there, but it still looks amazing, and the bees, as you can see, and all the other insects are still enjoying the flowers. It's a really beautiful aster to have. Quite different in many ways to the traditional varieties of aster that we know. If you look at the foliage down here, very different to the foliage on the more traditional aster, which I will show you, the more common varieties. So aster, this is Aster Winston Churchill. Beautiful flower on there already. And this is quite typical of the foliage of the aster. It is quite different, quite a different shade, much darker green. And these can be quite prone to powdery mildew as well, as you can see. We've got some starting off on there, but Aster Twilight is so reliable, such a great plant, and doesn't suffer with this issue, which is great really, because that's what we want. We want plants to do really well and thrive in the space. We do not want plants that are in the garden that are just prone to such things as powdery mildew. We have another aster over here which I would like to show you. This is Aster Calliope, or Aster Calliope I should say, and it's looking great. Started to flower, so this is more your September going into October Aster. Flowers much later than Twilight does. It's quite a tall variety. Now you may think, why is it a little bit spindly? Well, it's a tall Aster, and these were put in as small plants, but by next year they will have filled out the space, and all the soil that you see will be filled with plants and will just have this beautiful height. It's absolutely amazing. Really, really nice plant. Now, I have Astrantia Roma doing well, just going over, but we've had some amazing flowering from this. Astrantia Roma is a really nice plant. Does like a bit of water, so you know, on dry periods, just nice to chuck a bucket of water over it, or any rainwater that you've collected. Always a good idea to have in the garden as well. Buckets or things that you can collect, well, water butt, for instance, from a gutter is a really good idea as well, if you have a shed or anything like that. But if you can collect water in any way, rather than using water from the outside tap and things like that, from the hose pipe. But sometimes we have to do these things. Now, I'm going to stick over in this border to start with, and I'll move over to the bed at the side of me. Now, we've got our beautiful friend over here, been flowering its head off the whole time. This is a Phlox. It's Phlox paniculata Spatsommer, and still flowering. Remember when I said after that first flush of flowers, if you watch the other videos of the last couple of months, you know, certainly during August, I said she will, or he will, keep flowering. And you can see that once the original flush of flowers have finished, if you just, as they're starting to go over, just touch the heads, touch the flower heads, and they will just drop off the old petals, allowing space for the light to get these beautiful new buds, and it just keeps on flowering. That looks really, really great. I'm so proud of that plant. It's an amazing one to have. It's not prone to any slug damage whatsoever. So if you have problems with slugs in the garden and snails, with your phloxes, this is a nice one to have. So Phlox paniculata Spatsommer, really nice variety. Sedum Matrona, what's not to love about this? It's Paul's favourite, but it's a really, really nice one. Very, very beautiful flowers at this time of year, loved by the butterflies and the bees, other insects as well. It's not my favourite sedum, but it's a really nice one to have in the garden. Really, really great. The grasses are doing absolutely amazing. This is Molinia Banshee, and I love the way that this has turned the colours. If you can just get in there and see, notice the difference in the colours. There's so many beautiful colours. Look at them, it's absolutely gorgeous. The grasses really do come into their own at this time of year. This is the perfect time now, September and October in many ways for these grasses, but certainly now they are coming into their own, and this is what the plan was. This is what we wanted. We wanted it to look like this. It's perfection. Remember, for those of you that have followed our journey, you will know that this beds, this border and this bed were only planted this year. And just look at how it looks. It looks as though it's always been here. It just looks like it's been here for years. That's just 1 year. So it just shows what you can do in a garden. It really does. So Molinia Banshee looking truly amazing. Now we've still got some flowers on our Geum. And this is Geum Prinses Juliana. Really, really nice orange Geum. Very vibrant flowers, still giving us lots. Again with Geum, throughout the season, from as soon as they start flowering, pretend that this has now gone over and the flowers have died. What you would do is you would take that right back to the base down there, right into the plant. You take it right back, cut there, and you'll get new flower stems coming up. The reason why it's not flowering now, the rest of the plant, is because it's going over now, but we're still lucky to be enjoying these flowers. Now, on to this one. We have here our beautiful Salvia, and this is Salvia Caradonna. Looking really, really great. Still lots of flowers, beautiful, vibrant flowers. Just look at that, really beautiful flowers. And when they go over and they get these seed heads on, it still looks fantastic. We left this as it was. Rather than keep cutting back and more flowers come in, we thought we would leave it as it is and allow nature to take its course. It turns out what's happened anyway is we have got further flowering from different parts of the plant. So if you look through here, there's more flowers appeared and more flowers appearing from the base of the plant or from further down the plant. So it shows that you don't always have to cut things back. If we'd have cut it back, we wouldn't have the height, and the height is what's creating some of the structure in this border. And this is what we want. We want structure. We don't want to be cutting things back to an inch of its life just to get a few flowers from lower in the plant. What we do, you know, further down, we want it to hold its structure, to look great, and it's certainly done that for us. But Salvia, Caradonna, we have lost one of them actually. I noticed it, I think it was in one of the August garden tours, I think it was, that we'd lost this plant there. And we've left it in to see if it'll come back, but he's not coming back. I think it's that one will be definitely coming out. Now these plants, always best to take cuttings of Salvia for a very good reason. Sometimes if you're not careful, they can be prone during the winter. If you have a very wet autumn and winter, they can be prone to dying off and not coming back again the following year. So it's really great if you can take any cuttings of Salvia when you can, get them done, because literally you don't want to be losing your plants. Now over here, beautiful grass, we've got Edith Dudszus, and looking amazing. Again, we have a lot of comments on our channel, so many comments, and we do reply to them all. But I will tell you something, sometimes we get comments that I don't like grasses, I don't like grasses, I don't like grasses, and I totally get that, because I was one of the people that years ago didn't like grasses at all. And on our Sheffield cottage garden, Paul will be coming in and trying to introduce grasses, and I just think, what is the point of this? When you see, I just believe now, when I see this, and over the years I've grown to love them myself, when you see this and you see how grasses can look and the structure that they give you, if you just look at this grass over here, so look towards the back of the border there, just look at what it gives you. Grasses at the back there as well, the height, all different heights, and just look at what it does for a garden. It gives you that extra dimension, that extra element that can sometimes be missing if we just have perennial planting. And the idea of these beds, Paul designed them with its prairie planting. This is what we wanted, and I'm so happy with the results. I really am. I think it looks stunning. The Erygarium Annus as well at the back, still flowering after all these months. Now this one will go to seeds. They'll have lots of offspring in this bed, in this border, sorry, and they will be left in where possible. We won't have it all in. We were sort of like deciding whether or not it was going to stay in. I don't think Paul wants it permanently in this area, but I think it's been great during the summer to see this. And whilst it might be, you know, it's still going now, still going strong, but you can see the flowers are long lasting, but they've started, I can see the difference in places that it's starting to go over a little bit. You probably can't see from home, I can see close up here that it is. And to be honest with you, I think this has been one of the most valuable plants in the garden. You know, it's not going to survive the following year. It's a very short-lived plant. It's an annual. Okay, so it's not a perennial. It's not going to keep coming back year after year. It will come back from seed, or if you grow it on from seed, or you let the seeds fall and allow plants to come up in the borders, beds, whatever you have. But it's not a perennial. But look at that. It shows a mixture with this prairie planting of how allowing annuals in there as well can benefit, including the cosmos that was strategically placed around the beautiful sedum. The reason why, when the sedums were put in when the garden was first planted, these plants were very, very small. That's great. They were doing amazingly for the first few weeks. They started to grow, but there were still huge gaps of soil here. So these were placed in order to fill in the gaps. Now these will not be needed next year, this cosmos, okay? Because the sedums will have taken over all this space. But we just needed something in the space. But with regards to the Erigeum at the back, I'm sorry, but that has been one of the stars of the garden for me this year. The insects have loved it, the bees have loved it, they've just been crawling all over it. And I love the height, I love the fact that the white is just so cheery. It's stunning to look at, and it's been so long lived as well. It's just an amazing plant to have in the garden. So Erigeum, absolutely amazing. The next thing I want to show you is our beautiful tree. This is a sorbus called Autumn Spire with the most gorgeous berries on. Quite often with sorbus you see beautiful red berries. Well, we've gone with more of a Halloween theme, and these look stunning. It's a really lovely tree. As far as sorbuses are, this one is more of a compact tree. It's not huge, it's not a giant, it's not a traditional rowan or sorbus. It's a smaller variety. It will grow big, much bigger, but it's not as big as the usual trees. Perfect tree for a small garden, and perfect for the birds as well, because if you think about it, it's Autumn Spire, remember, and you've got the berries that the birds can enjoy as the time progresses. Okay, so as we're going on, the birds will have something to eat as well, and that's really important. That was the reason why it was bought. Now I want to talk about tomatoes. Are doing absolutely amazing. These are laden. Normally we have them in huge bags, and it doesn't work as well as this. We've put them in the veg bed, and as you will remember, Paul made this veg bed quite a while ago, and a few years back, and literally this area I love. Instead of doing what we usually do with it, we have grown tomatoes, and this has been the best year ever. They love the veg bed. We've got so many tomatoes on here that we'll be enjoying them for a long time to come. They look amazing. I'm so proud of these plants. They look great, and they're loving the veg bed, absolutely loving it. Calendulas doing really, really well, still flowering. I love calendulas in the garden, absolutely amazing. A few different varieties here, but calendula or pot marigold have been around in this country for hundreds and hundreds of years. In the medieval times they were around, so people used to use them, make a salve or a cream for healing wounds and stuff like that. So long before we had medicine in its traditional form, people would use these plants. You can also have the petals, I believe, in a salad as well. I think I tried that. I think we tried it years and years ago, and we did, and they were very nice as well. Have the petals in a salad, so you can use these petals. Always better to check plants as well if they're edible or not. Do not start walking around your garden trying to, if you're not familiar with gardening and you're not used to it, don't start walking around your garden eating plants, because they can be, depend on the plant, very toxic, whereas calendula are not, and they've been used for centuries, literally. The sweet peas are doing really, really well. I'm so pleased with these. This has been a bumper crop, and I love it. They're up at the fence, they're going over the fence, they look great, providing both gardens, so our neighbours and us as well, with some really great scent, which is wonderful. Now, a few have started to go to seed because we've not been picking them constantly. Remember what I said about sweet peas? If you've watched our other videos, or you know a bit about gardening, you will know that in order to keep the flowering going, you will need to cut the sweet peas, and the best thing to do when you cut them is bring them into the house. If you've got warm summer evenings, you can put them on the table. You could put some on the table in a vase and enjoy the scent outside. You can also enjoy them inside when it goes dark and you smell that beautiful sweet pea scent. There's nothing like it. Give them to your family members, give them to loved ones, give them to neighbours, do whatever you want, but make sure you cut them, otherwise they go to seed. And let me find some. When they go to seed, they will look just like this here. There's one starting to go to seed, and the seeds are forming. I can feel a few there. I can see them actually through. You can feel them as well. So yeah, they go into seed, and that's what happens if you leave them. And eventually, if you left the whole plant and didn't cut any more of these off, if I keep cutting these will go on to the first frost. They really will. They will keep going. Now, we've been growing them all the time, growing them all our lives, but since we were kids. But I will tell you this, if you do not cut them back, they will just all go to seed, and that's it. Okay, so it's like any plant, but certainly with sweet peas, keep the display going by cutting them back. So I need to take my own advice there. Moving on, going back to tomatoes, I should say, I want to show you something. Now's the perfect time to, you know, rather than getting more height on the warmer days on on tomatoes, what you need to do, just take them back. And we've done this all the way along the plants. The stems have been cut to stop further growth. What we want to happen, and we want to clear them as well. So if there was foliage around some of these, and they've been cleared. And the reason is we want to ripen these fruits. If they are covered with foliage, and just imagine there's foliage all over like that, so it's this bunch here, and they're covering, how are they meant to ripen in the sun? They're not going to ripen very well. We're into September now. We need them ripe in order to eat them. So what we need to do is clear any spaces and allow as much light, and this is, you know, it has sun on it all day, but the more light we can get to these beautiful tomatoes, the better things are going to be for us, and we're going to be able to enjoy this bumper crop much sooner. Let's see what's along here. More sedum here, more Sedum Matrona. Onto this beautiful grass. This one is Calamagrostis brachytrichia. So Calamagrostis brachytrichia, really, really nice grass. I love these beautiful thick flowers and lovely seed heads on here. They're absolutely amazing, but they look at their best now. They really do. They look amazing. They look stunning. Sedum Matrona, as I've already said, beautiful, doing really well. Our Persicaria starting to look a little bit not as great as it did. The reason for this is A, the time of year, B, we've not had, apart from a few days ago when we had a bit of rain over a couple of days or so, we've not had much rain. It's been like the rest of the country, we've been pretty dry, and so that's what's happened. They just don't like it. They do need a bit of moisture every now and then, a bit of rain, and they've not had their fill. Doing really, really well. Our Stachys, okay, this is a variety called Stachys humolo. This is going to be much better this year. Paul has made some changes in this area because what was happening, it was overshadowed by geranium, Mrs. Kendall Clark. It was literally blocked out by that and by this Persicaria as well. So there's been some movement, it's changed. Now this has a better start now for next year. There still might be some changes going on in this area as well because we're not 100% happy with just this little section here. But Geranium Rozanne, still flowering. Yes, doesn't look the tidiest thing in the world, tidiest geranium in the world, but we've got that height. You've asked him, how have you grown Geranium Rozanne having the height like that? Well, let me let you into a secret. If you come down here, rather than the geranium being sprawled all over the grass and sprawled all over the flower bed, there is a support, these ring supports. Most of us know about this, but if you've not seen them before, they're a very worthwhile investment. They last for years and support plants and give you that upright feel, because that's what we need sometimes. We don't want plants flopping all over the place. Now, going back to our beautiful star here, which is looking great. I'm loving this because it's starting to go over now, isn't it? It's going to soon be those beautiful feathery seeds flying off all over the gardens. I say this every year, but I absolutely love it. Our beautiful Eupatorian. Now, I love this every year because I like my tall plants, and this, just love it because I love it. It gets over the fence. It's really good. It gets right up there. It's a plant that likes, it's not going to love if the ground was just waterlogged constantly, but it does like moisture, okay? So in really dry periods, it's one of those that we have to chuck some water on it just to keep it upright, because otherwise the stems, it just starts sulking. You end up with stems all over the place and the foliage goes dry. And so yeah, but it's a really, really great plant to have. And it's been here in this part of the garden since we first came here. We put this in, and it's been really, really happy. You know, as soon as we got out into the garden to do gardening, not long after we moved in the spring, this has been in, and it just loves it. I'm really happy with it. Now, on to Crocosmia. As you can see, we've got Crocosmia here, and this is Crocosmia lucifer. But the reason, what I want to show you is how beautiful it still looks, even though it's gone to seed. And we have another video that tells you how to grow Crocosmia from seed. So you'll be able to watch that as well later on. We'll put a link to that on the screen and you will be able to watch that later. But it's so beautiful. It's amazing that you can grow these plants from seed, because most people think Crocosmia, you know, they know about the corms in the ground, that, you know, once they've been in so many years, you need to lift. We do with all your perennials, but with the corms, with Crocosmia, you need to break the old ones off and then replant the newest one, or newest ones, I should say, every few years. So you should do that, because it keeps the plant flowering well. Otherwise, if it's been in for like 10, 15 years, the amount of flowers that you get are limited. But this video will show you how to grow these plants from seed. It's really, really interesting. So give that a watch later if you can. Doing great here. We've got good stuff going on behind. Another Persicaria, still doing really well. This one's better. For some reason, this one seems a lot better. The foliage is a lot healthier, which you wouldn't think so, being just underneath the canopy of the magnolia tree, but it does seem much better there. That one seems dry and scorched, whereas this one is not. Again, it's slightly more shaded though, because of the tree, even though the sun's coming across that way. It's just having the shade of the tree, so maybe that helps. Now, this beauty. It's looking a little bit frazzled, I must admit, and it does like the dry conditions. It's Lichnis coronaria, and really beautiful flowers. Flowered from early summer onwards, and it's just kept going. My favourite plant in the garden right now is this one. It's Rudbeckia fulgida, and it's a variety called Diamii. Really, really nice variety. Those beautiful sunshine yellow daisy flowers. It's so cheery. This is one of those now where I get up in the morning and as soon as it becomes light, you can see these beautiful flowers and you just think, wow, this is what this time of year is all about for me. It's about this plant in the garden. I love it. I'm impressed with how things look in the garden this September. As I say, we've been working in the last few years. We've been here for a few years now, but this garden is just looking amazing. It gets better with every year, but this plant I love. I'd actually love more of this in the garden. We've been growing this variety for years and years. There are other varieties of Rudbeckia, so all the others probably do get obliterated apart from this one. So if you're looking for one that's not slug prone, so the Diamii is probably the best one for you to have. Loving the Eryngium here, the Eryngium planum. This looks great. You've still got some of the blue left in the stems, but I love these beautiful brown seed heads. They are stunning. And the verbena is doing well as well. Really lovely variety of verbena. That's going over now, but these are just, verbena is such a long flowering perennial. Another grass, and you just cannot beat this one. This one is Stipa tenuissima, and it looks, this is my favourite one in the wind. It's a lower growing grass, but when you get the breeze, you can just gently see there. If we can call some breeze, and there you go, as if by magic. Bit of breeze going on there, and it just looks great. It's a really lovely plant to have. So Stipa tenuissima. I remember walking through from Albert Dock in Liverpool, and I'd come across the main road, and there was a ton of, I don't know whether they're still there, there was a huge bed filled with Stipa tenuissima, and it was a sunny day but very breezy, and they were blowing in the breeze, and I just thought, that is beautiful. I remember taking a picture of it and thinking, wow, that looks amazing. I love it. But we've known this plant for years, grown it for a long time. Very, very nice. This Helenium is a variety called Wesser Gold. Really, really nice one. It's looking great. I just love the beautiful yellow of that. Really nice one to have. Does really, really well. This is growing in a pot. In the garden, it would be much more upright and much taller, but we have it in this pot and it just looks great. It looks amazing. With the pots as well, it almost from a distance extends the border and makes it look like these plants are actually planted in the ground and not in pots like they are. It's staging. That's what to do. Staging. Now, this beautiful Echinacea. lovely, gorgeous echinacea is called Magnus. Now I want you to get close up in there because the flowers start off like this and then they go almost cone-like as time goes on, and they begin to lose the foliage like they are doing now. And then the feel of those, I love echinaceas for the feel. It's quite prickly. Not as sharp as a hedgehog, but almost that kind of feel to it. It's lovely. It's so nice. Really do like that one. So Magnus, really nice flowers, you know, and again, the bees absolutely adore it. We've got Agastache rugosa, and we've got, it's a variety called Little Adder. Just look at the foliage. Look at how we've still got some flowers going on in there. Still got flowers throughout, but look at the seed heads. Look at what they look like. They are amazing. Such beautiful colours. They go from this beautiful blue to this gorgeous purple. I love the foliage and the stems as well, right down at the bottom there. If you look at the stems, really, really interesting stems. Very, very beautiful stems there. Little Adder, really, really nice plant. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a beautiful vantage point to look out over the garden. It's almost like a secluded little area as well with the plants around me. But behind me, we've got this truly stunning Persicaria. And this one is really nice, very different when you think of Persicaria, because look at the red stems and look at the foliage. But it is a really, really nice one. I do like it, and it's Persicaria and it's Red Dragon. It's really, really nice. I love the flowers on this. White flowers, but you've got that red foliage. You can see why it's called Red Dragon. If you just look at those stems, they're fiery, just like a dragon. This little beauty behind me is Honorine Joburg. Really, really nice anemone. Such a beautiful one. Very slow. I love it when they start off and you just get a mass of foliage, then all of a sudden these flower spikes come up from nowhere and you get these gorgeous flowers at this time of year. They really are nice. I love it. And this is a really great plant because the white actually lifts the space. It's a very dark little area. Even though the sun comes all the way around and is shining all day, apart from when it goes behind the tree in the neighbour's garden behind the conifer, it's literally a little area that needs lifting, and that white does it. Phlox paniculata David, doing really, really well. That's going over now, but it's flowered its head off, and David's a really great phlox as well. Not slug prone as well, so it's a great one to grow. It just looks amazing. It does the part. Again, the white lifts a space. Really useful plant to create light in a garden. I want to go on next to something that is quite a disaster, really. We love primulas, and primulas, because of the dry season that we've had, have really, really suffered this year. It's one of those things. It's going to happen, but our Miller's Crimson has suffered. You can see over here, they just did not do what they usually do, and they just looked disastrous, and they've looked like this all year literally, and even the rain we've had in between hasn't really fixed them. They've just not looked great. They flower quite early on. And over here, our Primula bulliana, we've got one, if I remember correctly, there was one that survived. Oh, there's there. So we've got one, two, actually two, I didn't notice that one, but some of those have died as well. So it's not great for primula. It's the dry weather. They need that little bit of moisture, and unfortunately they didn't get that. So, I mean, even with the waterman and things, it's just not been great for them this year. But hopefully next year will be better. On to another favourite. Did a video about this a long, long time ago. This is Fuchsia magellanica. These beautiful specimens you used to see in gardens many, many years ago, certainly when I was a child. So in the 70s you would see these, you know, all over the place, and even into the 80s you would see these as well. Then they fell out of favour. A lot of people seem to take them out because you don't see them in people's gardens anymore. You see other fuchsias, but not Fuchsia magellanica, and this is such a shame because it really comes into its own at this time of year now. These gorgeous droplets, look at them, absolutely gorgeous on the outside with that deep purple centre on the inside. Really, really lovely. adored by the insects, adored by the bees, and just really beautiful to look at. And certainly when they sway in the breeze, they look amazing. I just love them. I really do love it, and it's such a worthwhile plant to grow. You have to wait because it's later on when the action kicks off and they look stunning. But you know, when they first come up, it's almost like, and it's a shrub, remember, as well, if you didn't know, it's a shrub. But when it first comes up, it's one of those things where you think, oh, there's nothing much happening, it's not really doing anything. Then all of a sudden you get the foliage appears, then you get the flower, you know, the flower heads, and then you get these masses of gorgeous flowers for such a long period. It is well worth growing, and it's really cheery to have in the garden. For autumn foliage and autumn interest, just look at the rose hips on our beautiful rose. Now, this rose has been in for many, many years, and all the time we've lived here, it didn't flower up until this year. I give it a really, really hard prune. It was all over the place. Give it a really good prune, and it flowered for the first time in our time here. And now, just looking at these berries, they had such autumn interest. They look amazing. I love them. They're really, really nice. Again, red, my favourite colour. I'm in awe at how beautiful the rose hips look. And our jasmine, as you can see, that had a really harsh cut back, flowered beautifully, and then now look at the foliage. So from a beautiful deep green foliage, we have these reds and oranges coming through in the foliage. Beautiful autumn interest. Reminds me of Halloween, just that beautiful time of year that's yet to come when things just look all... I love autumn. Autumn, when I was younger, when I was growing up, summer was always my favourite time. At this age now, I can honestly tell you that autumn does it for me. I like the coolness, I don't like it too hot, but I love the way that things look when the leaves begin to change and they turn brown and red and all the beautiful colours that they turn. This is my time of year now. It's just starting now. So much to look forward to. I love autumn. And this just typifies what I mean by that. Let's have a look in this bed to see what's going on. The apple tree that's been planted this year in this round bed that Paul did. Paul did a video on creating a round bed. And the apple tree was struggling at first. We were losing foliage because of the dry weather. It had recently been planted. Remember, the rootstock on this was only in a container about that deep. So you had all this tree in this container that was that deep with a few spindly roots. And that's not good when you plant it in a raised bed in full sun, because this literally is in full sun, this bit of the garden. It's full sun. So it was struggling. Now look at it. We've had, it's been watered well. And I certainly realised my mistake. I wasn't watering the tree like I should have been, which I always tell people to do. When you put a tree in the garden, put plants in, you water them for quite a long time. You can't just put them in, water them once and expect them to thrive. If you want a garden to look like this, it's easy. Just go with your imagination, your intuition with plants, learn as much as you can. The right plant, right place, always remember that. Don't put something that likes full sun in shade, it's not going to grow, and vice versa. Now, same with this. Always remember, keep plants well watered, especially in dry spells. And because it was raised, that's why it was struggling. Well, now we've had some rain and it has been watered quite a lot and it's coming back, it's thriving. It really is happy. The bed's doing really, really well. I love this one. Now, this is our favourite. This is our Tucarum. Really, really nice plant. You can't beat Tucarum. We had this in Sheffield. I remember this growing in the garden in Sheffield, and really, really lovely. It looks very much like a Salvia in so many ways. It reminds me of it. But this is great, and it's such a great perennial to have in the garden. Tucarum. You cannot beat it. It's really, really nice. This is Geranium nimbus, and it was cut back after it finished flowering, and literally we've got all that fresh foliage, and it looks great now in September. And that's the thing to do with your geraniums when they're finished, or they start to look untidy. Cut them back, right back to the base, so right back to the ground there. You will cut it back, cut all the old foliage off, and you will get all this fresh growth, sometimes fresh flowers as well, depends on the geranium. There was some fresh flowers on this when we did cut it back, as you can see there, but not many, not as many as we would usually expect, but we did have some.
This Pennisetum is looking great. It's a variety called Hameln, and it's looking good. I really like, it's low growth, but I like these almost like bottle brush flowers on them. It's looking really cute. I really do like that. It's lovely. Again, when you get wind in a garden and you have grasses, you have that movement, and it just really does it. It's nice to mix grasses in with perennial planting. Our Diacia Emma is looking stunning, still growing strong, and really nice flowers on there. That's been flowering throughout the entire season. It's done so well, really has. It's not stopped flowering. And our Eryngium, and if I remember, this one is Cobalt Star. Cobalt Star was the one that we used to grow in our Sheffield cottage garden, and it's always been my favourite. And this has, at first it didn't seem to be liking the space when it was just recently planted, but now look at this. Next year we're going to have some amazing flowers on this one. Again, Eryngium Cobalt Star, really nice one to grow. I love this, look. That's gone over, but just look at the seeds on there. Whoa, beautiful. The pond is looking, well, you can see, it's like it's always been here. And it's interesting because back in the day, there was a pond here originally in the garden. And then look at it now. It looks like it's always been here. That's been done this year. And we have a resident frog, and he comes back and two in there during the day, and he lives in the garden, does his own thing. He's very happy, but it just creates that haven for wildlife. We get birds drinking from the pond, and also there's lots of other creatures in there as well, by the way, and also cats coming to drink as well, which is amazing just to see nature and see all these lovely animals working together and enjoying the garden. And we get a few cats actually that just come into the garden just to sit and look at the flowers, which is nice because they really do appreciate the beauty as well. It's not just us that appreciate it, the animals appreciate it as well. Sedum Carl. I've got to show you this. This is truly my favourite. I'm not a fan normally of low growing plants. I like my tallies. I like things tall. I'm not a fan of short things. Now look, this one, Sedum Carl. It's been amazing. Lovely flowers. That's how the flowers look. So look, you see the bee there. I'm not happy because I've just almost touched him. But flowers, that's how they look, and that's when they go over. But we've had butterflies on here, we've had bees on there, and that's what they do. You know, they give their all. But this Sedum Carl is compact, very healthy looking foliage. I can't believe how healthy the foliage looks, and such really beautiful flowers. I am totally bowled over by this. Our Aster, this one is a variety called Little Carlo, is doing really, really well. That's about to come out. That's a late flowerer, but it's really bushed up over this last month. So throughout August, it's really bulked up, and now into September, just look at that. It's ready with all these small flower heads. This is yet to come. So you think, well, in September now, well, there can't be that much more to enjoy in this garden, and in your garden too. You might have the same. You could have the same if you wanted to, because there's so much more to come. And it's about creating spaces that there's interest throughout the year. And that's the best way. If you really enjoy gardening and you want to spend time out there, you want to spend time looking at a great garden that's yours, you need interest throughout the year. Don't just get plants that all flower at the same time on the same month and then for the rest of the year. And that's we can all be guilty of that sometimes, but that's the way to create a garden of interest. Get it so that you have something to enjoy all the way through, right the way through. Yes, it's always going to look at its best at certain times of the year. It's the same with this garden, but try and get as much as you can to give you that interest throughout the season, because even now at this stage in September, we're excited. I can't wait to come out. I can't wait to look out of the window and see what's taking shape, what's happening outside, because there's so much more to enjoy. Great, really great Aster, this one. So Little Carlo, perfect. Normally grows much taller. It was given the Chelsea chop. We've discussed that in other videos. Paul did it. You can do Chelsea chop for many reasons. It's called the Chelsea chop because you do it at the time of the Chelsea flower show is on, around that time. For the reasons Paul did it was to make sure that these perennials did not outgrow the space, because this aster can be much taller, okay? And it's a bit like the Helianthus lemon queen that we have here. You think, well, that's nice and tall. This will be naturally much taller, okay? And in this bed, because that's a border, because it has a back to it, this is a bed, it's not going to go down very well if certain plants are just ridiculously spreading all over the place and too tall. These are perfect proportions, okay? We don't want things towering and blocking out other plants. We want to enjoy this bed with the different heights and things. So yeah, so that's why it was given the Chelsea shot. Tiarella, still flowering his head off. He's absolutely enjoying it. He's loving it. And this one is Pink Skyrocket, but a really nice Tiarella. You can see the pink in there. Something about Tiarella I didn't realise up until, I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again in case you've not seen our videos. Tiarella has a nice, really very light, delicate scent to it. A scent that I really like, but I didn't realise till getting up and close with it. We were planting a garden, I think it was at RHS, it wasn't Tatton, it was the Chatsworth, that was it. It was RHS Chatsworth. We were planting a garden there, and we were planting lots of this, and I realised that it was actually scented. And even though it's a very light scent, it's not something that most people would actually notice. I really like it, and it's one of my favourite scents. Really do like it. Now, we're doing really well here with our geranium, and this is Geranium Brookside. Geranium Brookside is lots of flowers coming on there, waiting to come out. Some gone over, but we've got lots of buds on there, just waiting to come out, and that's what he looks like. Give you a garden design tip here. Geranium Brookside and Geranium Patricia. So Geranium Patricia is pink, Geranium Brookside, as you can see, is blue. When you plant that in an area, so if you had Geranium Brookside here and then Patricia en masse there, or another pink geranium, magenta, that kind of colour, you would have a great combo. They do complement each other. Our Patricia this year has not done very well on the other side of the garden, but it's recently been planted. It's only been planted this year, and I'm sure next year we're going to get that height and all the flowers that we require. But planted together, they do look great. It was a combination that we had in our Sheffield cottage garden. It worked really well and does create that wow effect kind of thing. Really do like that. Persicaria. And this one is a variety called Superba. I think it's Persicaria affinis Superba, and looks really, really nice. Beautiful, starts off like this. So if you follow my hand there, looks great. Then we get red, that pink, red, pinky red. Then we get the beautiful brown. So we have all that to enjoy. She's quite a spreader as well. She really does like to take over. If we let her, she'll be all through here. So, you know, it's something that you do need to be mindful of. Moving on to Alchemilla mollis. Alchemilla mollis was cut right back. This is a perennial that's pretty low growing, but is one of those that once you have in a garden, it will self-seed everywhere. And these were cut back. They looked untidy, as Alchemilla often does when it finishes its first flush. And this has grown back, but with a difference. It's flowering. It looks amazing. It's not just grown back, it's flowered again. And I'm so glad. Again, this bed was planted this year, so it's all early days, but the Alchemilla was looking very, very untidy, and the dry weather I don't think had helped it at all. Whereas now it's starting to look good. It's had some moisture. Very happy with the flowers, and they look great. They're an acid green colour flower, really, really nice, beautiful acid green. And the foliage, when you get rain, what happens with these is the rain drops look like jewels. So when you have rain, I should have watered the petals, put some water on the petals just to show you. They look like little jewels on the petal. It's also known as lady's mantle as well. So for people with grandparents and parents, that you know, and you might remember them calling it lady's mantle, but it's Alchemilla mollis. Looking really great. Persicaria, again, got more Persicaria going on. Beautiful grasses, and we've got our digitalis, our foxgloves, ready for next year. we've also got them coming up in different areas throughout the garden. We've got a cheeky little one over here that's self-seeded as well. And this is the thing about plants. They just love to self-seed all over the place. So I think Paul wants to take that out, but I think we might leave it in there. That'd be nice to come up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Hydrangeas, another plant that I've known all my life and great to have in the garden. This one's been in for many years. This was in when we came here. It was big then. It's been in for a long time. This is your traditional hydrangea that most people remember in the gardens from years gone by. Looking great, massive specimen. Did you know as well, these make great decorations as well, so great for ornamental decorations, bringing into the house and using when they've been dried as well. And Paul's created a video some time ago that we will add the link to onto this section, where he talks about how to dry these out and what to do with them for, you know, table decorations, displays, etc. So it's a really good video, so well worth a watch as well. But these plants are amazing. From the second they get those flower heads on, the change in the colours throughout the season is just so lovely. We have pink flowers, we have the bluey, purpley colour, the lilac almost there. We've got white appearing as well through as the season has progressed. Now we're going into autumn, and they are worth their weight in gold. Hydrangea can be temperamental if you start cutting it back wrong, so you need to know what you're doing when you come to pruning. It's not one of those that if you cut it back, it flowers on old growth. So if you start hacking this back and then thinking, oh, it's going to flower, just hack it back to nearly the ground, a few foot high, it's all going to be perfect this year. You're not going to get any flowers. You're going to be very disappointed. Hydrangea Annabelle, starting to go over now, but still looking great, doing really well. But hydrangeas are traditional plants, but yet modern in their own right. There are so many varieties now of hydrangea, but you know, the lace cap, the mop heads. But I really do think that for me, that traditional hydrangea macrophylla is just the best. I do like this one. There was something else I wanted to mention. Now I want to show you this, is how well, I'll talk about this often, sorry Bertie, the tree is doing. This is Prunus nigra, perfect tree for the smaller garden, and this is a memorial tree, but it's looking great. It's really come into its own the last 2 years, and certainly this year it's grown so much. It looks beautiful. It will be manicured. When you have a smaller garden, I know there's many people probably going to be saying this garden isn't small, this garden isn't small, but it's still a big tree. It's a tree to have in a smaller space. You know, we're not living in woodland or in the middle of the countryside, so it is important that we keep things in check, and that's something that we will do. Making sure that the branches are not going over too far that way, and keeping a check on the height as well, because at the end of the day we want a tree in the garden, but we don't want a fortress as well. So it's all looking good. Everything's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour today. It's been amazing showing you around the garden. I get so excited. This is my favourite bit of the channel, is doing garden tours. I absolutely love it. I leave Paul to do the other stuff, you know, the potting on and cuttings and everything like that, because that's his passion. Whereas this is mine, sharing our space with you and just showing you some of the things that are going on and keeping you updated with any progress and any changes in the garden. And it's wonderful because you get to see the seasons, you know, going by. Also, quite early on our journey, we used to do full episodes of full, you know, as if you're watching Gardener's World kind of thing. We used to do full episodes of from our channel, so if you go back on our videos you will find those episodes, and they're really great. You know, they vary in length, some an hour, some 50 minutes, some 45 minutes. They will vary in length, I can't remember exactly, but they were episodes, and we did a couple of I think it was a couple of seasons. I think it was just one season throughout the months. But it's well worth looking back over those videos, because you will see a very different garden. It doesn't look how it does now,
but it's interesting because it shows the journey of the garden, and it also gives you lots of extra tips as well. So give those videos a watch when you can as well. We really appreciate it. Now, thank you for watching. Please click the like button. If you've not subscribed, it's totally free to do so, and that means that you get the videos as they're coming through. Also, could you please share our videos on social media, because that gets our message across as well and helps people that are perhaps not as familiar with our work to see our videos, which is great. So please share our videos, and also drop any comments as well in the comments box, because we do appreciate hearing from you on what you're up to and how things are going for you, and anything that you find interesting on the videos as well, any of the plants that you like. We do like hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and we will see you on the next one. But I can't wait to show you around again a little later on in the month when things have changed even further and there's more to show you. I can't wait. Look forward to it, and see you soon. Take care. There's something else I forgot to mention. Two things actually. We are well over 9,000 subscribers now. We want to get to 10k, so if you can help us do that by clicking the subscribe button or getting people that you know to subscribe to us, we really would appreciate it. It'd be just great to get that 10k. We've worked really hard on the channel, and it'd be just great if we can get there over the next couple of months. So it's almost at 10k. We're doing well, but there's still more work to be done. Also, Paul's been working on the shed. It looks so different if you look, not just on the outside, but on the inside as well. He's been putting some shelving along the sides and doing so much work. It's been cleared, and the things that are in there now actually belong to us, but there's still so much work to be done in there, and it's been painted. Some of it's been painted, so it's still a work in progress, but I just know that you're going to really, really like what you see when you come to see that, when we come to show you inside. It's going to be a potting shed, so watch this space. It's going to be a really great area, and a useful place, because, you know, as a gardener, you need somewhere to go when it rains, and it's okay having the summer house, but you need something else as well, somewhere to pot things on when it starts raining, you know, early on in the season, and you know, it's still bad weather, or you want to get out there in winter and do something, and that shed will allow us the space to do that. Anyway, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.